Hopefully you've seen the previous video we've done on pruning roses in the garden. Of course, we're quite often asked about growing roses in pots. Growing roses in pots really is not much different to in the garden, except it may end up with a slightly smaller plant. What we need to do is to remove the bulk of the top of the plant. It's essential so we can just basically see what's happening inside the plant. Makes it easier for the pruning to be taking place. So the first thing we do is just take off all the extra growth. And you will also notice that the roses here, even though it's late July in Sydney, still has quite a lot of foliage on it, and we even have a few buds still forming. They will need to be sacrificed because we don't want to see any of those flowers or anything left on the plant. So just take all the rubbish material away, and we then get a better idea of what we need to keep and what we need to remove. On this plant we need to remove all the foliage. It's blocking the view into the plant. We need to actually see what we're aiming at in pruning. So simply remove all of the old leaves. You don't want to have old leaves on the plant anyway. Now we can get a better idea of what's actually happening in this plant. We can see what's going on here. So now we need to go through and start removing the wood that we no longer wish to keep. We only want to keep the younger, healthier looking canes and get rid of some of this older wood that you can see inside here. There's some damage here we need to remove. This part here, so we take that off as close to the crown as we can. It's no good keeping this type of wood. We then need to remove this old piece of wood here. Even though the canes here are fairly fresh, this is too old and it does need to be removed. So again, we take it back right at the crown. Then we can start working on the wood that we're going to keep, this younger, fresher, healthier wood from the current season's growth. A couple of old stubs that do need to be removed. This one's a little bit more awkward to get at. We can now work on the wood that we're going to keep, this lovely, healthy, fresh wood. It's very simple now. We look for an outward facing bud with preference. One here, and again we have a nice bud facing out this way, and on this cane here we have a nice bud approximately here. That's all you need to do, although looking at this I find this cane is a little bit too long, so again just remove a little bit more, and that's all you need to do to this rose. Okay, to get the growth we want, we need plenty of sun, moisture, and of course Swanes grow cubes. Just apply it around the surface, not too thickly. And two of my favourite products, Organics Harvest and Munn's Better Bloom. Just simply follow the instructions on the containers and you'll have good, healthy, quality roses. Cusaurus prune, the Heart of Gold rose. This is a rose we pruned 3 weeks ago, a variety called Good Samaritan, and as you can see it is well on its way to good, significant flowers.